Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news. It's Mondays with Mallory with KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's John Mallory. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, here's Johnny Ballgame and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Monday, Boise State fans. Welcome on in. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. We got Johnny Ballgame, John Mallory there, 95.3 The Ticket Studios in downtown Boise. Johnny, going to be a long day today, a fun one. Excited for this. We're going to kick it off here with our show. And then we've got Taylon Green, Bush Hamden, Spencer Danielson meeting with the media today. And then we're actually going to tape Taylon Green and Tyson Degenhart for the Tyson Degenhart show right after that. And then the debut episode 1 tonight of Ball Talk with Sanford and Johnny. Super excited, man. Going to be a fun day.
First thing I thought when I woke up this morning was just that. It's going to be a long day, but heck, I signed up for this stuff. It's football season. I realize this is our busy time of the year. There's a lot going on, obviously, with the Bronco Nation News empire that you have created and continue to build. I mean, hell, do I ask Jeremiah Dickey what's next? Or do I ask BJ Rains what's next? It feels like both are on the level right now, my man.
Well, we're excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. And to help us kick off the show tonight at 9:20, about 9:20 or so, Johnny, today, later in today's show here in about 15 minutes, Mike Sanford Jr. I did it. I said I wasn't going to do it. He's not Mike Sanford Jr. He's Mike Sanford. He is going to join us at here in about 15 minutes to help preview tonight's show. And we've had a couple meetings already about it, Johnny. It's going to be it's going to be a fun show, man. People are fired up, or people should be fired up, and I think they are because we're fired up. And I know that you and Mike have done a lot of homework and prep work, and you're not just throwing this thing together. And I think it's going to be some fun topics about Boise State, about the Mountain West, about college football in general, about current events related to college football. I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope folks tune in 8 p.m. tonight to check it out.
Me too. Yeah, Sanford is just such a home run, BJ, because of his experience in the world of college football and coaching. But also, I mean, he was here in the early 2000s. He was a Dirk Cutter quarterback recruit. So he saw Boise State take off into the galaxy of the college football powerhouses there and had a front row seat as a backup quarterback. He take all those ingredients, add in his personality, his telling ability, his willingness to tell stories that maybe others in his position won't, his comic value. He's really funny. I mean, I think Mike Sanford, if he wants to be, and if it works out for him the way it did in coaching, I think he can be a star in the sports media world. And I'm happy to help him start this journey. And I know you are too.
8 p.m. tonight. And again, we'll talk to Mike Sanford here in about 15 minutes to help preview the show. But Johnny, we got football practice going on again today. Andy Avalos met with the media after the first scrimmage on Saturday. They got 3 days this week in full pads as they get set for the second scrimmage on Saturday, and then that's when they'll kind of divvy up the depth chart and things like that. And I know folks want to talk conference realignment. We got great viewership again, so we'll get to that. If you have any questions, any comments, get it in the ICCU YouTube chat. By the way, Perry says, nice shirt, Johnny. And I'm not sure if that's a
shot. That's a shot. But Perry, love ya. And yeah, this is normal attire for myself. I'll leave it at there. Let's go. We need football. I mean, I know it's always fun to do some BNN. Do you want to make fun of Johnny for half the show and steal some time there? But no, we're not doing that today, BJ. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Do you want to start with Mike Oresco or Andy Avalos?
Andy Avalos.
Okay. They had the script. We talked on Saturday. You were there. Jordan was there. The crew was there. Anything stand out to you? The whole interview, the whole is up on Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys are going to be playing some bites today on the show, talking about what Andy said. But anything stand out to you about what Andy Avalos said after the first scrimmage?
It felt like the defense won the scrimmage. We didn't see it. We got limited stats on the quarterback position. They weren't blowing you out of the water statistically, although I don't pay any attention to scrimmage stats. If you ask me, I think they're pretty much irrelevant. But from Andy Avalos, from his mouth, felt to me like the defense did an exceptional job stopping the run. I don't know how many carries the star backs had. The defense did a good job creating turnovers. We do know that they picked off a couple of passes. And maybe it's just a defensive coach saying, hey, what a defensive coach will say a lot of times and lean towards that defense. But that was my biggest takeaway. It felt like from Andy Avalos and the way he was saying and what he was talking about that the defense played really well.
And I flat out asked him, like, are you willing to say which side won? And he didn't want to go there. It did seem like he talked a lot about the defensive line, which was encouraging. Talked about they did a pretty good job. The defense did, and they gave up some yards. He said they gave up some yards. They got down to the red zone, and they got a couple interceptions and played well and held them to some field goals. We heard that Milo Lopez and Shea Oladipo both had interceptions for the defense. Not surprising because it's a first scrimmage and you don't need to risk anyone getting hurt, but we did not get a ton of carries, it sounds like, for Ashton Genty or George Helani in that scrimmage.
That helps the defense, right? When you're stopping the other guys rather than, Ashton and George. So, yeah.
But overall, it sounds like they're moving in the right direction. I know this may be a topic on your show tonight with Mike Sanford, but I know some fans were a little overreacting, a little nervous to Talon Green, 18 of 33 in the scrimmage.
Yeah, I want to ask Coach Sanford where he puts value on scrimmage stats. Now, be of mind, they did not release the rushing stats, and Andy did say he talked specifically about one run Talon had. It's probably a 40-yarder, maybe even more than that. I mean, if you throw 67 rushing yards on that line, I think it looks a little differently, and that's Talon's game. But, yeah, can't wait to talk to Coach Sanford about that and figure out, to either worry the fans a little further or calm them down a little bit, and I'm sure he'll do that.
And, again, they'll have scrimmage 2 on Saturday, 3 days in full pads starting with today. They're actually on the practice field right now, and then we're going to talk to Talon Green and Bush Hamden and, as I said, Spencer Danielson. What's on the docket for today in terms of what do you think's most noteworthy? What do you want to know today from either Spencer or Bush Hamden?
For me, Bush is the most intriguing. This will be the first time we've had the chance, and the folks have had a chance to hear from Bush since camp began. How the offense is going, where Talon Green is, his thoughts on the line, the receivers. Just you're going to kind of put everything in that crock pot for Bush Hamden and figure it out. And, he's pretty candid with the media too. So I don't think he holds a lot back. So I'm excited to hear kind of Bush's take on what's going on offensively. Talon Green's cool just because he's the quarterback. And let's obviously, I'm sure he'll be asked questions about the scrimmage, maybe his 18 for 33, maybe what his thoughts are on some of the receivers who are having nice camps. I do want, thinking about it, Bush said in spring ball in regards to Talon's running ability, he said, use it, don't abuse it. I wanted to ask Bush, is that kind of what's going on right now? Is he using it, not abusing it? Is he abusing it too much? Is he not using it enough? So I want to get Bush's thoughts on that, because I do think Talon Green on foot is a massive weapon that only a couple teams in college football have. Think about this. No other quarterback in the nation had 2 carries last year over 74 yards from scrimmage. One, the Boise State kid, and he was a freshman. So I want to see what he can do on foot and how Bush is going to put that all together. So, and Spencer Danielson, I mean, I love Spence, right? He's going to tell us that everybody's busting their tail. They're working their tail off. They're, I don't know. I mean, he's, Spencer Danielson. I mean, he's going to say really nice things, and he's good copy too. So really good choices today for the fans to get to hear from some very important pieces to the puzzle.
Speaking of fans, you guys watching on YouTube, you can interact with the show, the Idaho Central Credit Union YouTube chat. Go ahead and get your comments or questions in now. We'll get to those here shortly. And if you are watching on Facebook or Twitter, we ask you to jump over to the YouTube channel, get in the YouTube chat there. Subscribe on YouTube as well. We're under 50 away, Johnny, from hitting 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. So we're excited about that. So down there in the bottom corner of the screen, just hit subscribe on YouTube, and we'd love to have you join the chat as well. We are going to transition a little bit and take your comments, take your questions, but also talk about Mike Oresco and realignment as well. But first, we want to thank a couple of our great sponsors. Check out Taco Bell. They're remodeling the location on Broadway there, and it'll be open by the UCF game. But I think there's 19 of them, the freestanding Taco Bell stores from Ontario over to Burley, everywhere in between. And we appreciate the local Taco Bell stores for sponsoring us here. And check them out, TacoBellGivesBack.com, to find out what they're doing for the local community. Our title sponsor, RoePaint.com. They just took care of Leon Rice's garage. They can do the same for you. Check them out, ROEPaint.com. The best. It's 5 times stronger than epoxy. The one-day install. Highly recommend it. And again, Coach Rice gave his recommendation. Check them out. Get more information. Free estimate, ROEPaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, the fall kickoff sales going on. Check them out. Do what the Raines family did. They have the new F-150 Lightnings, Johnny, the all-electric F-150s. We're actually going to do a broadcast coming up in a couple weeks from the back of an all-electric F-150 Lightning. Looking forward to that. Going to be a lot of fun. Check it out, lithiafordboise.com, to view their full inventory of vehicles. I mentioned Idaho Central Credit Union. What do you want Tyson Degenhart to ask Talon Green? Let us know in the comment section as well. We are recording the interview today. We'll play it back tomorrow. I've already seen the initial list of questions. Tyson did his homework. He's got some good ones, but the two faces, I think, right now in Boise State Athletics, Talon Green and Tyson Degenhart, sitting down for a rare one-on-one chat. It's going to be really cool, really exciting today, and we're going to do that later this morning. So if you have any questions or any thoughts, let us know. And again, thanks to Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com, for sponsoring that. And if you're heading to the Washington game or the home opener or any Boise State stuff coming up, make sure you check out the blueandorangestore.com. The blueandorangestore.com offers free shipping for any order over $40. Or you can go to the second floor there, the Boise Town Square Mall, and check out all the Nike gear, hats, sideline coaches apparel, sweatshirts, you name it, there in the store next to Pro Image on the second floor. Johnny, we got some comments rolling in. Let's see, 11 yards per completion. Looks like they're pushing the ball downfield a little bit in the scrimmage. We didn't see the scrimmage, so it's hard to say what the case that was.
Those are great numbers, though. Yeah, he's right.
Want the D to do well in the scrimmages. You know the offense. You know what the offense will do if they don't do well. If D could be in trouble. So overall, don't need to see any stats. Both sides are trying to test each other, see what's working, what needs to be worked out as well. That was actually kind of rare, by the way, Johnny, that we actually got stats. Usually we don't get the first. We were kind of sitting there, and Patrick Walsh, the new SID, is like, "You guys want some stats from the scrimmage?" And we're like, yeah, and I thought he was kidding. I didn't expect him to actually give them to us, and he did.
Why do you think they didn't give us the quarterback rushing stats? Because my guess, real quick, is it's tough to calculate because it's such a quick whistle.
They're not tackling Talon
run. Yeah, I don't even think they're keeping them accurately. I had a number of people ask me that question. I didn't really have an answer, BJ.
I think they just wanted to wet our beak a little bit. Here's a couple key stats. Maybe the second scrimmage, they give us rushing numbers. I mean, who knows? But again, this was like a 55 play scripted thing. It wasn't like a full game scrimmage. There's, you know how it works. There's a lot to it. And the fact that we even got the quarterbacks, I was a little surprised with. But as I said, no breaking news in terms of the conference realignment, Johnny. And we have great viewership again. I expect a lot of people are watching from around the Mountain West or the country that have in the last week found our show due to the realignment stuff. Jacob says the AAC is scaring me. Been hearing a lot about them in the pack and little of the Mountain West. And we have been hearing a little, Johnny, about this potential merger with the American in the Pac-4 or the Pac-4 getting some American teams. I still don't see a scenario where Boise State is left out of all of this, but there is a little more smoke with the Pac-12 teams joining the American and kind of hanging the Mountain West out to dry here. What's your current take about what you're hearing?
Well, the worst possible case scenario I would believe would be just what you said, and Boise State was left out. That the American takes the Pac-4 and San Diego State would make perfect sense. And then maybe Vegas, right? Maybe Colorado State, maybe Boise, maybe even Fresno if they want to stay in California and give San Diego State a bone. That's the worst case scenario. And then the Mountain West has to survive. They would go from 12 down to, say, 8. And I don't know what they would add if they would try to, or what Gloria Nevarez would do there. And that would be the worst possible case scenario. That would remind me of the old days where you had the WAC in the Mountain West for football leagues, and the Mountain West was just a bit better than the WAC, but you still always had the Pac-12 there. Now, you'd have the other two. You'd have the American, the Power American, and then the Mountain West would feel like the old WAC. That's the worst case scenario. And I think for Boise State fans, a good scenario would be that this moves forward and Boise State's included. That's a better league than the Mountain West. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I like the Mountain West. I like Gloria Nevarez. I like talking about it every day on my show with Prater and our show and what we do with you. And I like talking about it. But that's a better league. The travel. Nobody cares about travel. For Boise State to be in a pod, a conference, a division with those Pac-4 teams, plus, say, San Diego State and maybe Fresno and UNLV, that's a better situation. I don't know if it helps your chances of going to the playoff or a better bowl game. That I don't know. They'll have to work that stuff out. But week in, week out, the schedule, I mean, yeah, there's not a bunch of powerhouses in that setup, but there's enough. There's some really good teams. There's quality teams, better brands than, I'm sorry, New Mexico, right? Utah State.
Wyoming.
I like the Pokes. They have a bunch of tradition, but sure. Wyoming, certainly where Nevada is right now. I mean, that's a better situation. I know Gloria Nevarez is going to turn into an enemy. She has to. She doesn't want Boise State leaving, Mike Oresco coming in and jacking her stuff. So she's going to fight hard against that. And where's the money going to come from? If you got to pay your way out of the Mountain West, and we know as San Diego State, you do, BJ.
So what do you make of Oliver Luck being hired by the Pac-4 here as kind of a consultant? Some people think he might have a chance if he wants it of becoming the new commissioner of whatever this league is. I know he's been involved in the XFL, obviously the other leagues around the country. But I mean, how do you think? There is some talk that he's been talking to Mike Oresco. Can they put something together? How do you think Luck being involved now changes?
He's just a smart football guy, and he's a smart business guy. Maybe there's just not a lot of those guys that have been making any decisions or advising anybody who does make decisions regarding the landscape of college football in the Western region in particular. So, I mean, I have no problem when businesses want to bring in consultants. I mean, heck, I think a lot of us, we don't know it, but we bring in consultants. Anytime you have a decision to make and you call or text someone in your life who is smart and you want to get their opinion, that in definition is getting a consultant. So good for the Pac to do that, bring smart people in, get their ideas, and move forward from there, because obviously they're in a pickle, they're in a pinch right now, and they need to figure out what is best for those 4 schools, and if there's any way of keeping the Conference of Champions alive, not necessarily kicking, but at least alive, and then you can go from there. If you stay alive, BJ, maybe, and I know Rick Neuheisel said this on our show last week. Rick Neuheisel said in 3 years, he thinks these schools will realize this mistake, and it's just crazy, and they'll want to go back. And I've heard other people, smart people, suggest that as well. So if the Pac can stay afloat, maybe, just maybe, I know it doesn't happen. When the girlfriend leaves you, BJ, and I've had it happen a lot, they never come back. But maybe in a college football sense, maybe if the Pac is at least still branded, maybe there's a hope in 10, 15, 20 years, whatever, a couple of those teams trickle back. I don't know.
Well, hey, if you're looking for a new job, check out Transportation Compliance Service, transcomservice.com. That can help you every step of the way. get into the trucking industry, check them out, transcomservice.com. I'm going to see Dr. Minert on Thursday afternoon. If you need a dentist, I highly recommend Dr. Chris Minert, his staff. They make it a fun, enjoyable experience for the full family to go to the dentist. 5 locations in the Treasure Valley, Boise area. Check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. You need commercial insurance, business insurance. United Commercial Insurance can help you out. 229-8222, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Make sure you check them out, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. They got 13 locations in the state of Idaho, the Treasure Valley. Next time you're heading to the grocery store, look for a local, company that supports BNN. Support Ridley's Family Markets. They got that location in McCall, all over the Treasure Valley and the surrounding states. Highly recommend them. Shop Ridley's.com. You want some healthy eating? Check out Lean Feast. LeanFeast.com/Meridian. Appreciative of their support as well, and sponsors of the Tyson Degenhart Show. Healthy meal prep. They're now feeding the football team once a week, the basketball team. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Fully customizable, healthy eating. And whether you get 1 meal or 10, you can go in there, leanfeast.com/Meridian. And I'm heading down to Vegas, Johnny, coming up here next Wednesday. I'm heading down for the Circa Sports Contest, one of our sponsors here at Bronco Nation News. So if you're looking to, you're a gambler, you got an extra $1,000 laying around, you want to gamble, we got the contest we can help you out with. Circa Millions, 5 games against the spread, $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, $8 million guaranteed to the winner. Again, $1,000. You got to sign up in Vegas, but you can play from anywhere, and I can help you sign up while I'm down there. So let me know if you're interested. Circa Sports, Circa Resort and Casino. We appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. Johnny, new show debuts tonight. We are pumped about it. Should we bring on our special guest here? What do you think? You're giving me the head nod, yes. So let's, without further ado, bring in our special guest. You know him, you love him. Mike Sanford joins us for his first appearance here on Bronco Nation News. Mike, how's it going, man?
It's going awesome. How you guys doing this morning?
Look at that helmet. Look at that helmet.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this guy right here. Old Dale Holsey dialed this one up for me when I was
the same one. Johnny,
he rebuilt it about 15 years after it went into hibernation for me. So.
Oh, that's sweet, man. Yeah, we have this one in our studio here too. That old logo is fresh, and this is coming from a Vandal too. I like it, man. That's a good fresh logo.
A lot of wins in that helmet right there. A lot of W's for the Broncos in that helmet, even against the lowly Vandals back in the day.
Mike, you got the studio set up. You got the podcast equipment. You got an actual mic. You got a headset. You're going to be you're a media member now as of tonight, hosting the Ball Talk with Sanford and Johnny. You and Johnny, 8 p.m. every Monday. Debuts tonight. What intrigued you about the opportunity here of having your own show and dabbling in the media a little bit, and how excited are you for this?
I'm really excited about it. It's funny. Before I was went into coaching, I was a young kid. I wanted to play football as long as I could, coach football, and then I actually always wanted to either be in the media or do something in politics. And state of our country right now, I'm gonna stay away from the latter there. So I think the media stuff is a good fit for me. I'm looking forward to just continuing to grow. And honestly, I'm looking forward to being a fan of Boise State for the first time in a long time, because I haven't had a lot of bandwidth of time to be able to watch and follow the Broncos like I've always wanted to.
What are the goals? Yeah. What are the goals for this show for both you and Johnny, I guess? What are the goals for the show? And I know you guys are not just going to wing it. You're going to have some topics, Boise State nationally, what's going on around the country. But what's kind of the goal in terms of what you guys hope to talk about and the insight you hope to bring to fans, Mike?
Well, based off our prep last night, I would have thought that was a harsh staff meeting with Mallory. We were 2 hours of prep, so we got after it, man. Just very detailed. It was really good. So I'm just excited to be able to talk Boise State football first and foremost, but also have a look at national, college stuff that's going on, happenings, and get into stuff that just happened over the weekend, and and also talk about previewing games coming up. And for me, I'm excited to just talk ball with a buddy of mine, which is Johnny. And, really, I don't even know if Johnny and I probably met twice in person, but haven't been on the radio with him a few times. It just was a natural fit. It's almost like we could very easily fill up 5 hours, but I promised all the viewers we won't do 5 hours, because I know a lot of you would watch all 5.
I don't know, man. I think Anne Marie would get in the way of that a little bit. And you got the kids, Griffin, Gunner, Peyton, your daughter, Mike, yeah. And Yeah, I don't think they're gonna want dad in the den for 5 hours, but we're
Hey,
gonna do
I don't know, man. His kids popped on and my kids both popped on during the meeting last night. I think we need to have an episode where the kids just talk sports and we sit back and watch.
Hey, could be a big YouTube show. That's where the real money's at there, BJ, is the
It is. I just want to know I just want to know, you mentioned a harsh staff meeting. What would happen if you walked in a wife beater for a harsh and staff meeting?
I think you would respect it, to be honest. I could tell Johnny's been getting quite a few reps of curls. He's into the show muscles, not necessarily the go muscles. So
yes,
I was impressed. I came out last night. I was looking at the picture, the screenshot, and I'm like, you know what? That looks just like something out of Breaking Bad. Is he hanging out in his basement in Albuquerque, New Mexico?
I love that show. I'm surprised you got a chance to watch that on coaching hours, man.
Never finished it though. Never finished it. Yeah, it was one of those deals where, little off season, had about a week time to binge watch for about, probably about a season and a half. And here I am, about like every other show until now, about a third of the way through. So that's changed recently.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this, BJ. And I think, Coach Sanford's going to bring a lot to the table. I think the viewership can get a piece of that right now, kind of sticking his toe in the water a little bit for tonight. But we're going to draw from a lot of his experiences. And I love the fact that, when football lifers like Sanford all of a sudden get to be a fan for a year or two or however long it is. I mean, think about that. I mean, here's a guy who's a total Bronco. He played there, coached there 1 year, has a Fiesta Bowl ring somewhere in his house as a player, has 1 million rings. I mean, as a player, has 1 million rings, has a Fiesta Bowl ring as a coach. And now he gets to just kind of root for the Broncos and be pissed off when they lose as a fan and be happy when they win as a fan. So we're going to draw on a lot of those emotions, but also we're going to get the why and the how from Coach Sanford. When a play blows up or, if the offensive line gives up 7 sacks, we're not just going to damn the O-line. Coach Sanford's going to come on Ball Talk and say, here's what happened. Here is the issue. And he's not going to be telling us anything that the coaches aren't already knowing. He speaks the same language as them. And he's going to be able, in my opinion, to translate footballese to us media members and normal fans. And I think for that reason, it's going to be must-see stuff on Monday night, especially like if you're watching your Monday Night Football, hit mute on that sucker and you're going to bring up Ball Talk. I think we're going to have a lot of people that are going to do that. And, we'll go to the film room. BJ, I want to get production in this sucker and show clips of plays, Boise State or elsewhere in the country, and have Coach Sanford kind of, John Gruden chalk talk a little bit with us and explain what's going on and why things are happening. He's really close. You are with Bush Hamden, Coach Sanford. So you guys speak kind of the same language offensively. You're going to know some of the stuff that he's trying to do, what he's executing, maybe what he's not. Andy, obviously a former teammate of yours. You know him real well. Just the insight. And again, I got to tip my cap to BJ for making this all happen, right, Coach? I mean, he's building this Boise State football empire for fans out there. And me and you, man, we're going to kick some butt for him. I know that.
I think BJ has a future as an elite recruiter. He didn't go through me. He went through my wife, and because I wouldn't respond, I'm kind of out here. I was probably up somewhere up in the mountains, getting some shredding in on, Winter Park or Keystone or something like that. And BJ just kept hitting Anne-Marie on the DMs, and she kept, have you called BJ back yet? And sure enough, I called him, and it didn't take a lot of arm twisting before I jumped right in. And, to your point, Johnny, about having a Fiesta Bowl ring, I do have it here in this house, but more importantly, my favorite memorabilia from that year is right behind me. And that's the America.
No.
So the Fiesta Bowl committee sent me when I was at Notre Dame, they sent me this because after we had won the Fiesta Bowl, there was a post-game celebration, might have been a few libations involved with the Fiesta Bowl committee at our hotel. And I chalked this up on they had a days up there. I chalked it up and I just thought it was just there, They made like 4 copies of it and sent it to different people that ran the Fiesta Bowl, myself. And
Let me see that again, man. Dude, that is bitching.
Yeah, so that was that was the night after the Fiesta Bowl. That's my drawing. I had all 3 receivers off the line of scrimmage. That might have been Coors Light induced.
You're right.
But I did put the detail on there that they are on the line of scrimmage. And you can see right there, America back-to-back World War champs.
Can you name what receivers those were, Coach? Let me test your memory a little bit before we go tonight.
Oh, man. I'm going to go Spurbeck, Chaz Anderson.
Yep. I think there's one other.
Shane Williams-Rhodes. And
That's
then,
what I would have said too.
You can see the two in the backfield. That's J Mac and JJ. And then
you had
on center.
Those were your two backs on that team, J Mac and Jay Ajayi. Yeah. You had some talent at Boise. I don't know if you had that at Notre Dame. Maybe you shouldn't have left.
Yeah, I mean, we were right back in the Fiesta Bowl a year later with Notre Dame, so it kind of made that my home stadium. So I think we did okay.
That sounds like a topic for tonight, man. Looking forward to it. Going to be an awesome time. 8 p.m. tonight. John Mallory, Mike Sanford, going to be a lot of fun. So clear your schedules. If you can't watch it live, obviously it'll be on YouTube. You can watch it tomorrow or later tonight, whatever. But free show. Don't have to be a subscriber. You just have to be a football fan and want to hear these guys. So it's a free show. Thanks to our sponsors and thanks to Mike Sanford. Thanks to Colorado for still paying Mike Sanford for making this possible. And Johnny and
just Dion. Thanks, Prime.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Excited for this and super excited, Mike, that you're coaching high school football. You're still doing a lot of things, but the fact, Mike, that you're giving up some of your time to do this, we really, really appreciate it. And thank you for wanting to give this a shot. And I think it's going to be, as Johnny said, can't miss on Monday night. So we're excited about it and can't wait till tonight, sir.
Well, if we're going to do this, let's do it big, right? Nothing I want to do is going to be, with one foot in. So we're going to be both foot in on this deal. And, it's a great opportunity for me to potentially look into going into this field, full time maybe. So I'm in that phase right now, even with Colorado, and my contractual obligations is to continue to seek other opportunities in employment, whether it be in football. And I think it's a great way for me to stay connected, and most importantly, to connect back with the people that I love. And that's all my people back in Boise and everybody in college football beyond.
And we're hoping to get you out here for a game too, right? At some point this season, we'll get you over to the James, a little live pre-game, post-game. Folks can come see you again. We got to play it up big. Mike, when was the last time I assume it was the Fiesta Bowl or the last home game of 2014?
Yeah, it was the Mountain West Championship against Fresno. It was the last time I've been to a game on the blue in 2014.
We got to get you back on the blue, man. The stadium's changed a lot. The new scoreboard, the new lights. I mean, we got to get you back, man. We're going to make it happen this year. Johnny, you had one final thing, though.
Oh, I mean, does Colorado, is it like the unemployment situation where Colorado's like, hey, coach, we're paying you this money, but you have to prove to us that you're actively looking for jobs? They make you do that?
Yeah, you pretty much anytime you should be doing that, right? I mean, that's if you're just sitting around on your couch and talking to guys in Boise, that wouldn't look so good. But I think that's part of it is that I want to continue to grow and develop different skills and traits that I could potentially use for the next 40 years of my life, kind of in that midway point right now. And I want to see where this thing goes. And I had an opportunity to be on some radio stuff here locally with the Denver market, which is a tremendous pro sports market. So Altitude Sports as well. A shout out to them and just keep growing in this space and see where it goes.
Well, the comments, folks are already loving it. Kareem the Dream says this is going to be golden for sure. Dennis says awesome. Roy says Sanford and Sons. Everybody loving it in the comments. I can't wait for tonight and looking forward to your guys' thoughts on a lot of topics. So, Mike, thanks for jumping in. We'll see you at 8 p.m. tonight, man.
Hey, we'll see you guys tonight and looking forward to seeing a lot of Broncos and college football fans on there tonight with us.
There it is. There he is. Don't forget it tonight, Johnny, 8 p.m. I know you're fired up for this, Johnny.
I'm ready already. Yeah. I mean, does that mean Brian Harsin has to show Auburn that he's actively looking for employment too? That's interesting. Did you know that, BJ, that the universities kind of check up on you to make sure you're looking for other gigs?
I mean, I would assume that's part of the contract employment. Yeah. And I know like if you get outside employment, they take that out of what they're paying you at the other school. I mean, that's just kind of standard. So it's, but
he can tell Colorado he's got his own show on Bronco Nation News. So, hey, back off a little bit. I'm working.
Going to be fun tonight, Johnny. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you down at interviews again. We're talking to Bush. We're talking to Spencer Danielson. We're talking to Taylon Green today. And then we'll be back. We'll have those up. You guys, I'm sure, will have those covered on your show today. We'll hear from those guys 3 to 6, Idaho Sports Talk. And then, obviously, we'll get those interviews posted to YouTube as well. And then 8 o'clock. Can't wait for tonight, Johnny. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm working on the intro. I got graphics for you guys, the whole deal, man. We're going to do this thing big tonight right away for episode 1. And can't wait. So appreciate it, Johnny, and we'll see you tonight, man.
Thanks, BJ.
There he is, John Mallory. Don't miss Mike Sanford, John Mallory, episode 1 tonight. at 8 o'clock Mountain Time of Sanford and Johnny talking ball talk. Looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of fun. And that's tonight. Full coverage all day, Bronco Nation News. And again, 3 to 6. Make sure you're listening to Idaho Sports Talk with Johnny and Prater. They'll have you covered from today's press conferences and everything breaks realignment-wise. They'll have you covered there as well. So have a great day. We'll talk to you 8 o'clock tonight. Ball Talk, Sanford and Johnny. Have a great day. Bronco Nation News, Bronco Nation News.